All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease, so on and so forth, title forever in the works. Before we actually get into why we're here, I'd like to just point this particular thing out, right? So I want to be serious for a minute. I want to be serious for a minute. If you guys are keeping up with the whole low tier god situation and Gideon or Dijon, as Pokimane labeled him all them years ago, if you're paying attention to that situation, I want to impress this upon you briefly, if I could. As it pertains to Gideon and him signal boosting LTG troll content, talking about some of the wild ass shit, the fucking weird ass shit that fucking LTG has said and done over the years, and bringing more attention to that. I'm all in putting a larger spotlight on it, if you will, even though I don't know if I can really say that he's helping all that much, because the LTG troll community is already rather vast and they already have a pretty big reach. Anyway, him bringing more attention to that is a good thing and whatnot. Him, you know, using his platform to do that, I can respect that, and I can appreciate that with every other troll. Here's what I am concerned with. I'm concerned that Dijon throwing himself into the legal case. I'm concerned because he's not exactly, he doesn't exactly have the best track record. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go back only as far as 4 or 5 years ago with his whole Pokimane case, you know what I'm saying? Like his whole Pokimane situation, I should say. That didn't play out well for him because he literally did everything wrong. He started the situation and he buried himself. This is a real serious thing. Like, as it pertains to the whole, you know, like I said, you know, putting a spotlight on all the dumb shit that LTG has said and done, by all means. But as it pertains to the legal case, as it pertains to her counsel and all that, he needs to stay quiet on that. He needs to keep his mouth shut and keep that behind the scenes if he really is helping her. The last thing I think any of you guys want is him injecting himself into that case and then making some of that shit public, or any of it public, because he has a bit of a, like I said, that dude has a track record. It's not very good, and we don't need, I think, for those of you who really care outside of the actual content, you guys don't need or want, you know, Rose or her daughter to get stiffened, if you will, because of him and because of his nonsense. Like I said, there's part of this that he can make content and he should keep it as content. But for the real shit, he should probably just shut the fuck up and just, you know what I'm saying? If he really is helping, if he is really contributing or whatever, keep quiet about that and whatnot until the case is done, until the case is won. Because if anything happens to where Rose and her daughter lose this case, or they somehow get stiffened or whatever the case may be, Gideon is probably going to be the person that's going to have to eat that. So the very person that you guys are cheering for right now, y'all might have to go ahead and get ready to pull the knives out for him later. Just saying. So you guys might want to pay attention to that. And like I said, look no further than 4 or 5 years ago with his situation with Pokimane. That shit still ripples to this day. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not exactly in the best spot, you know what I'm saying, to be talking publicly about someone's, you know, about a real case that's going on where, you know, there's a lot at stake. Like I said, he wants to clown LTG, he wants to bring more attention to that. Cool. But as it pertains to this real world shit, you know what I'm saying, Meth Bear and whoever else that has their hands in that, I think I'm way more comfortable with them helping, with them doing that, because they're keeping it quiet, they're keeping it behind the scenes, and they're just doing what they do. I don't think you need a loudmouth like this guy messing that up. And for him, if it does go bad, is he gonna sit there and is he ready to pick up the pieces, or is he just gonna move on to the next situation on some Mama Mac shit? That's all I'm saying. I just want to throw that out there on some real shit, because, like I said, there have been a lot of people who've been really putting in work to try to help those two people, Rose and her daughter. The last thing you need is some dude just coming in, just trying to make content and shit, and ends up fucking it all up, who may not really even care. You know what I'm saying? You guys didn't come out the sandbox with that guy. This is business. And if he really is helping behind the scenes, then tell him that he needs to stay quiet and keep that, you know, behind the scenes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I may speak about that a little bit more, but I wanted to at least say that much. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he may have good intentions, but I don't know. The last couple of things I've seen, I don't know. He's starting to look like what he did, you know, 4 or 5 years ago that got himself hemmed up and got his Twitch permabanned until eventually he got it back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Maybe just be careful about the amount of faith that you're putting in him. Anyhow, that's all I want to say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to I'll name the segment later. GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Title forever in the works again. We're gonna be the title hasn't given me away just yet. We're gonna be going over this situation that Kino Casino's been speaking about over the last few days. I'm late, so it's probably been about a week or so now. Could be longer depending on when this goes out. As it pertains to the DSP on his hands and knees crawling back to Kino Casino. As it pertains to the quartering situation. Now, I don't think anybody should be surprised by that. This has been thought about for a while. There's been a lot of people who have thought that DSP was trying to get himself back into Kino Casino's graces. I'd like to expound upon that a little bit further in that it's not so much that DSP wants to, in my personal opinion, of course, this isn't so much that DSP wants a second stimulus check. It's not necessarily him wanting backup, because at current, when I'm recording this on the 25th, by the way, of May, DSP's fighting on 3 fronts, basically. Because his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are an ever-present thing. The Darziak leaks already proved that, so we don't need to talk about that. That's an ever-going and ever-consistent and conscious threat that he'll never be able to do anything about anyway. So we're furniture at this point. He's not going nowhere, and he can't go anywhere even if he wants to. He's trying to inject himself into the quartering situation, right? With basically Kino Casino, or he's attempting to. Who knows what he's doing, what he's saying or doing with the quartering behind the scenes? Mark this later. That this might come back up. But he's trying to insert himself into the quartering situation. He has the LTG thing that he's been doing for a few years, but because he can't get that Negro to do what he wants, now he wants to insert himself into that situation. Now that Gideon's there, and DSP doesn't even care about, well, he cares because he's a Negro, so of course DSP cares and whatnot. Now he's got 2 for the price of 1. But really it comes down to is he's looking at Gideon's or Dijon's fucking sub count. He's looking at that 8 million subs, and he's looking at all the views that the usual suspects in the LTG community are getting, and he's drooling over that shit. He has the situation with Darziak, or as I like to call him, the dragon that snaked. I love that shit, by the way. That's why I came up with it. But anyway, he's dealing with that nonsense, right? He's got that shit going, and now he's got that situation with the Pokemon community, with the Pokemon card trading card community in particular. Because there's one guy in particular, haven't watched his videos yet, but I think he has 2 and whatnot, and he's already he's clowning DSP, and now there's a whole new community over there that are picking up on it. And at first I was thinking with the Pokemon thing, I'll come back to this later in another video, but I'll come back. Initially when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to introduce his audience to it, to the nonsense, which is DSP and it's whatever. Well, first off, the guy himself is already rather well versed. So I'll give him credit on that. You know what I'm saying? He watches a lot of Snort Hogan, and he's also very familiar with Kino Casino. So he sounds like he's seasoned, if you will. What I was surprised about is his audience. This guy's audience was pretty well seasoned too. So DSP sat there and stepped himself into a motherfucking hornet's nest with a bunch of people who actually care about their hobby and their craft. And DSP thought he was going to go ahead and basically leech off that shit, which is kind of funny. But then again, that shows you what kind of piece of shit DSP is. His reputation, his infamy, if you will, has preceded him in more ways than one. There will never be a community that he can go in and quote unquote financially molest and or take advantage of, and there not be someone who knows about that shit. And in every community, they protect theirs. They're not going to let somebody just come in and grift who really isn't about this, because DSP really isn't about anything. So DSP's fighting on all these fronts. very Adolf Pigler-like, if you will. And he's losing. He's losing really, really bad. And so I say that to say this, as it pertains to the Kino Casino situation, it's not so much, I mean, this is a thing, but it's not so much that he's looking for a stimulus package. It's not so much he's looking for backup for drama. What I think DSP's trying to do at this particular point, this is before even Darziak dropping all that shit on him, is I think DSP wanted to show them, hey, I'm ready to play ball now. I'm ready to be put in the game and whatnot. Because think about what they wanted from him 2 years ago, right? They wanted him to, hey, you need to do this for you. If you're really trying to get into this drama shit with us, if you're really ready to eat at the big boys table, then you're gonna have to put in that work. DSP wasn't built for that. He still isn't. But DSP wasn't built for that. But DSP thinks he's built for it now. He thinks he's ready for that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Diplomat music in the background and everything. I'm ready. He thinks he's ready. And I think that's the reason why he's approaching them now. Hit quartering while he's already down and whatnot, while he's already wounded, right? And go ahead and see if he can slide into Kino Casino's DMs. Because Kino Casino, with all due respect, but Kino Casino's wounded too. You know what I'm saying? Their editor has lost a channel, which is income that's been taken out of their children's mouth. Andy has lost his channel that was already unbanned 6 months prior. He wasn't banning. And now PvP, or Triple P as I like to call him, he got hit too. His personal channel got hit. So if you're DSP, you're looking around, you can snort the blood in the water. Everybody in the situation's wounded. So why not take advantage of it? Now, DSP making these claims about supposedly being able to help behind the scenes with YouTube, fuck all that bullshit. Not that I needed Darziak to confirm this, because we already knew it, but if you listen to Darzi, go through those DMs with Darziak, DSP is bitching about videos getting blocked, getting claimed. He don't understand what's going on. No one will tell him. No one will talk to him. He's useless there. So that doesn't mean anything. So then what's DSP really doing? And DSP doesn't have no authority or motion anyway. He never did. That's why he showed up on Kino Casino's doorstep in the first place. A wounded little piggy, and I was literally 2 blocks away. I was coming to finish him off until Kino Casino brought his ass in, and I just didn't know. The blood trail just kind of went cold. But he came to them wounded with his little fucking Pigler hat, you know, Nazi hat in his hand, looking for a handout in the first place. Now all of a sudden he's coming around as if he's the savior? Nah, that's not what that is. I think DSP is looking at the situation. He sees 2 sides that are vulnerable, and he's been looking to insert himself in anyway. So he's looking for a piece. And if I had to guess, I could have access to DSP's DMs for 10 minutes. I bet you Quartering's gotten a couple of messages too. The Quartering probably hasn't answered him. There'd probably be no need for him to do that. But I bet you there's been some messages sent to the Quartering, whether on Discord or whether on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck. I can almost guarantee you that. And I'm pretty sure Kino Casino realizes that too. I just want to put that out there. That's my initial thoughts. We're gonna go over this video. It's brought to us by DSPGaming, I believe, and it's 2 videos that's been cut up. I did the cutting myself, so the cutting is not very good. Diggs is gonna be taking some time off for a bit, so I'm gonna have to pick up the pieces. I'm kind of like in a Darziak situation in a way. But it feels bad, man. But anyway, so we're gonna get into this and we're gonna see what's what, but that's my initial thoughts. I'll give you guys some more thoughts as we go through. I haven't seen all the clips yet per se. I did clip it, but I didn't actually like kind of watch it. I had a particular set of timestamps, so that's what I grabbed. So there we go. And we'll see what's what. All right then, I've talked your ear off enough. So let's stop all the talking and get to the real talking. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, all right, let me stop my music for a minute. All right, let's see here. This should be it here.
Like the eyes are here. Should
we do a sticker of his forehead wrinkles? Should we get some subs?
Crazy
Let's
nice.
get subs right now for the forehead wrinkle sticker. The all snorting eye.
The all snorting. It's pretty good, actually. That's actually pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with a DSPGaming. I'll have the link to the videos that I'm using down in the description. And I believe this takes place on, it's like, I think this initially took place on Wednesday, May 20th, and more than likely that Thursday or Friday, which would have been the 21st or 22nd. Like so, I'll have the link down in the description to the videos, so you'll be able to get it all there. All right, without further ado, here we go.
Like the eyes are here, the nose.
Should we do a sticker of his forehead wrinkles? Should we get some subs?
Crazy
Let's
nice.
get subs right now for the forehead wrinkle sticker, the all snorting eye. Oh my god. This is the all snorting eye. The eye of Sauron. That's what it looks like. It does look like the eye of fucking Sauron in his fucking forehead, buddy. Eight crazy dents.
Eight crazy.
You know, though, the sad thing is that Phil is loving this. He's like, finally, they're giving me the attention I deserve. I'm the center of the world now, Jeremy. I'm the lol cow of the casino. No one will take my place. Like, it's...
Well, it's not just that. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little small glitch with my button here. It's not just that, actually. I think DSP actually was offended on how much attention that the quartering was getting. Mainly because DSP was used to the runoff that would show up to his streams and throw some pity bucks at him or whatever, or throw a pity sub at him. And on top of that, excuse me, as much as DSP likes to say that he's not a lol cow, he's just misunderstood, or he's admitted lately that I used to be like that back in the day, I'm not like that now. He seems to be really, really offended when these other lol cows get attention. And I don't mean just by the casino. I mean just by damn near anybody with any reach who starts signaling or signal boosting any of the big three, or big four really, because it's DSP, Wings of Redemption, LTG, and Review Tech USA. Review Tech USA being the most insignificant of the four. And whatnot. So there's that. At least in, you know, those that DSP can commonly deal with, or he's had some type of association with. So I think that's really what it comes down to. I think he was offended, and he might have been even a bit jealous, to be honest. And the fact that the quartering interview or the quartering react to the June the King didn't go nowhere, but everybody knew it wasn't going to go nowhere. He didn't, but everybody else did. I think he was bothered by that too. But the thing is he wasn't bringing anything to the table. He didn't say or do anything that would cause people to care. He thought the video was going to, or the react, if you will, was going to carry weight just because he can take every little moment that Jeremy had and try to basically equate that to himself. And that's not content. That's not content at all. That's projection and projection and jealousy wrapped up in a very sweaty Hawaiian shirt. It literally reeks of fucking insincerity and whatnot, while he was also sweeping for Jeremy at the same time. So theoretically, he was trying to play both sides of the field. He was trying to do the react, hoping to get Kino Casino's attention, but also trying to sweep for Jeremy, because everybody's trying to get on Jeremy's payroll, which makes no sense because the ship is actually sinking. I don't know why anybody would want to jump on now unless they want to raid what's left of the coffers, and hopefully they got a lifeboat waiting for them. So keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind.
Fuck this guy, man. He loves us, by the way. Like,
he does love us.
He loves us. If we told him he could come back tomorrow, he would be back here tomorrow. Even after all that we've done to him, he would be back here tomorrow.
And trust me, he would.
I agree with that on two fronts. One, to be closer to Andy and the gaming cred, because Andy has way more gaming cred than DSP does, to be honest. If you just looked at, well, I don't think Purple Dragon's around anymore. That's that Ian Miles Chung bullshit. For those of you who know, you know. But if it wasn't for Ian Miles Chung, who knows where Purple Dragon could have gone, to be honest. Who knows where it could have been so many years later. So there's that. And he's clearly attracted to Andy and whatever. As it pertains to PvP, he looks at PvP as a mentor. He looks at PvP as someone to inspire to. Not only does PvP have the gift of gab, right? But he has a level of authority, right? Like real authority that exudes, well, DSP would assume, that exudes power, right? And real respectability. And you've seen that actually through this whole situation with the quartering. There are a lot of people who've come out and be like, you know what, I never really liked those guys very much, but I gotta respect the hustle. They are funny. I think when PvP goes into his rants, those shits move a motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's very compelling. You know what I'm saying? And while being very amusing. When he was angry in the beginning, you felt that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit could shake a fucking room. That's the type of influence DSP has always wanted. He's always wanted it in on YouTube. He's always wanted it in the FGC. And he feels that if he could stick around long enough, he could get that again. So yet again, it's not just a stimulus package, but if DSP could spend another 8 months to a year with them, again, I think he would. And I honestly think he might actually try to put in more effort now, especially now. Now that Darziak is gone, shit. Like Tevin said it best. Almighty Tevin said it best. Have we really been laughing at DSP all these years, or have we been laughing at Darziak? I'll go even further. Whose incompetence have we actually been really laughing at? Like, we think about what the motives are, right? We think about what the methods were. But realistically, if you look at the Darziak shits, for the most part, they were executed properly. Well, they were planned out properly. They were executed poorly. So who do you actually put that responsibility on? Is it really so much DSP? One-man army, one-man band, all by myself, me, myself, and I? You know what I'm saying? The Gout, the Doubt, and the Snout? Or do we have to throw Darziak in there too? He's a dent. But Darziak didn't really throw that much bad advice at him. DSP just chose not to listen to it, even though he kept going back to him. I think Tevin brings out a very compelling argument. Like I said, if I get a chance, I'll try to...
Get in the ring, man.
What else? Long story short, DSP has been compromised the last decade. It's actually like the last 11 years, 12 years maybe. With how many things Darziak did and told DSP to do, one could ask, have we even been making fun of DSP streams? He had daily yellow paint. And then it's me shilling the archive channel because I uploaded that quarter in React. 4 parts of the quarter React, 11.5-hour restream. Technically, 11.5-hour video. He did start with the Sonic hat on. I think 20 minutes out of the 11.5 hours is wearing the Sonic hat. Then there he is, the card champion, holding his little animals, his funny animals on a piece of cardboard. And there he is, not hitting the goal. It's bad though. Darziak's gonna be rent-free in my mind for like years. Every time DSP do something, I'm gonna say, oh, I bet Darziak told him to do that. And every time he talk about something, like if he glazed himself, oh my God. Even the way this dude glazed himself, all of that shit was just basically done by some other guy. He's like some kind of an industry plant that was propped up by the system and we didn't know. Or he's like some game or some movie or some TV show, some kind of media that was being puppeteered by guys behind the scenes, but you didn't know. And then not just you didn't know, but if you knew, you would like it even less. It's not like people like his streams. His streams fucking suck. His streams fucking suck. And all people do is say bad stuff about him. And he wasn't even making them on his own. So technically, maybe kinda you can think to yourself, oh, maybe this is gonna be Darkside Phil actually being able to make content on his own. Maybe for once Darkside Phil won't be like a fucking NPC being puppeted by a Scaly? What? The guy, where is he? Where is he? This fucking guy. The guy inside the circle. This fucking guy who called everybody stupid, brain dead, mouth droolers. They can't think for themselves. He couldn't think for himself. He couldn't think for himself. What? Piss me the fuck off. Hold on. I want to see if I can find in just some form of a DM to read. I couldn't get him to show up on other website. I'm too stupid. Look at this fucking shit. Darziak giving them money and giving them advice. Like, look at this. I had problems when I was doing a Baldur's Gate 3 live thumbnail edit, so something about it being live. I just made the Final Fantasy 13 ones, and those can be added easily enough. Unfortunately, I got no answer for the profanities. Darziak was watching whole videos looking for curse words, looking for slurs, looking for stuff that wasn't offensive, quote unquote, wasn't offensive then, but is offensive now, to edit it out, while he was making thumbnails for the main channel, while he was making thumbnails for the stream, while he was making thumbnails for the throwback channel. Bruh. He was running Darkside Field's channels. I remember this one pre-stream, DSP showed up with three versions of the same thumbnail. And he did the most, bruh, it was like the most weird DSP pre-stream ever. But he showed 3 thumbnails and he was saying like, okay, which one do you like? Do you like A? Do you like thumbnail B? Or do you like thumbnail C? Oh, now people can't agree. Great. No one can agree now. No one knows which ones they like now. He didn't make those, of course. Darziak did. Darziak just did everything. How did he do everything? How did he do everything? And what's DSP gonna do now without Darziak? Or will he still have him? Oh yeah, one more thing before I'm done with this. This is my theory. Oh my God, look at this bullshit. This is DSP talking about the Lil Shake and Bake and Derek birthday video. You know, Derek is from Canada. They all eat. Yeah, that. Holy shit, is so much. I wish I timestamped that one part where Darziak leaves and DSP tell him to not leave. That was a great part. I resign. And DSP's like, no, please. Actually, no. No, you're awesome. No, don't leave, Darziak. I need you. Darziak, if you leave, people will be like, whoa, Phil must have lost one of his moderators or something. Oh yeah, he was mad about WWE Champions too. Honestly, the June doc and the WWE Champions was disheartening to me. DSP, of course, just ignored like half the shit he ever even said. And then the other half was him lying. And then the other half was him asking for stuff. Oh yeah, but this is my one quick theory. Even though Darziak is completely thrown away DSP's trust or whatever, I don't know. He completely backstabbed him, the worst thing ever. Oh my God. This is probably like if Panda Lee was to expose him or something. Those DMs are ridiculous, and those DMs have stuff in them that DSP said we would never figure out. He bragged and said, LOL, you guys will never know why I was gone for a week. You will never know. And the whole time he told Darziak why he was gone. And now he's going to have to tell us that he lied to Darziak. And we're going to have to believe him. And that's if he feel like talking about it. But anyway, my theory is that DSP is willing to take that dude back. Even though he'd been backstabbed the way he'd been backstabbed, I, in my heart of hearts, think that DSP is so brain dead and so devoid of thought, ideas, he can't fix anything. Like, it was one part of the DMs. It was one part of the DMs where he said, if I get thwarted by technology every day, it's a win for them. He think his stream fucking up is a win for the trolls. And he was telling Darziak that if Darziak go away, that would happen more. Like he's a technician behind the scenes connecting wires or something. Hey Darziak, if you go away, man, my stream's gonna mess up more. And if it mess up more, that means the trolls are gonna win. So I do think that DSP actually is willing to take that dude back. I think somewhere down the line, 10 years before we get the next Darziak leak, in 15 years, DSP gonna DM him and say, hey man, I know what you did was really messed up and it like really screwed me over for a long time. And like my audience was really upset with me and people were all making fun of me, but I really like, you know, enjoyed when you helped on my content. I could just see him completely bullshitting it. Because like, he kind of, I don't know, man. You could argue it was 2 dudes running his stream, and now it's 1 dude running the stream for the first time in a long time, and we had no idea.
What is going on, everybody? Guess what? It's
somewhere in here. I'll try to put it, and you guys can hear it for yourself. So I'll link that here too. But it's an interesting perspective. It really makes you think. But back to what I was saying. But DSP admires PPP, and he admires his power and his authority. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just over people, you know, he can open people's wallets. When he says something, people take it in. They actually give it some thought. He's not mocked and ridiculed and emasculated in the way that DSP is. I mean, DSP's been castrated multiple times over now that I think about it. For whatever. For some reason, his pen head keeps going back. But in any case, and like I said, I think DSP felt during his original run with them, he felt secure. He felt safe. He changed his whole mannerisms because of those guys. And now I think DSP looks at it as, I'm ready to be put into the game, as long as he believes that he has their security. You know what I'm saying? That they will be there to back him up if they are going at, you know, a common opponent. And clearly, Kino Casino isn't going to throw DSP to the side if they decide to realign with him, I mean. But they wouldn't snake him just to fucking get cool with the quartering again. That's obviously not going to happen. So DSP thinks that's a safe bet. But it also makes me question, is DSP also talking to the quartering, and is he trying to play both sides? Is he trying to hedge his bets? It's just a theory, though. I'd like to call it a Theo theory because I think it's actually a pretty good theory, but it's probably not, so it's not exactly a Theo theory. Big ups to Theo.
Oh yeah, no, he would.
Me, guys.
Trust me, I know for a fact. I know for a fact.
Me too.
Oh, I know for a fact, Phil.
And that makes it interesting too, because that means DSP had messaged both of them, which makes sense. It makes sense that he would message Andy first, right? And then, you know, once he builds his confidence up with that, then he might have sent a couple of messages out to PPP. But if I had to guess, he messaged Andy first. I'm almost confident of it. And I'd love to hear what his story is, what his justification is for why he snaked them. What was the real reason? Oh man, did he do the John Rambo excuse? Oh man, they were just, you know, my detractors were just getting to me, man, and I just got into a really bad headspace and my depression. And so I needed to, you know, I just lashed out and I wasn't thinking, which is same thing he told Darziak. Was it something like that? Or was it, oh man, it was just an act. I just didn't want to look weak and whatnot. But you know, I don't really mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I really appreciate everything you guys did, you know? And I understand now that you guys were really trying to help me do this for me, but I actually had to do something. Well, I'm ready to put in work now. There's a situation with the quartering, and then I'm working on this thing with LTG. Have you guys seen that? Have you seen that? I've been going at LTG as of late. I've been going at it for a while. I've been actually going over detractor content. Did you see that? So, and I've been on Winks too. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that as well, Andy. I'm ready for my head pat whenever you're ready. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I've been going at him too. So I've been sticking it to these little cows. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm ready. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Is it going to sound that pathetic? Yeah, of course it sounds that pathetic. I expect it to sound worse, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But if some are saying bring him back.
Do we?
Do we bring him back?
We've had a discussion, should we?
No, we don't want you here. Go away. Go away. We're going to have to throw the rocks at him again, old yellers. Go away. No.
That's kind of ironic, right? Because initially I would have been like, you know, when he was like, we're going to have to toss the rocks at him, old yeller style. I was thinking, bring his ass into the shed and then open up the sliding part of the door and just shoot him. In Minecraft, of course. But just go ahead and get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? Put him down. Give him the mercy. Give him some mercy on the way out. But they're like, nah, he's just a plaything. We'll deal with him later. We got we're dealing with real adult shit right now. And that's how DSP should be treated. And truth be told, yet again, that's pretty much what Medicare told fucking SOK. Medicare told that to fucking Freddy Boy years ago. He told him literally that same thing years ago. DSP will always be there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Branch out, because the guy doesn't really change. He'll always be there. He'll always be there to laugh at. So expand your horizons. That's what they're doing. So I just want you to see those parallels and just see how all that comes together, because it's interesting. It really is.
Oh God, we got Ramsos 85 for 10 subs. Welcome.
And DSP literally copied all those mannerisms, by the way.
Home for 5 subs. Light bulb head for 10 subs.
Let me bring that back.
Ramsos 85 for 10 subs. Welcome home for 5 subs. Light bulb head for 10 subs.
By telling my idea I had, I was kind of fun. I don't think we're gonna do it, but no,
don't tell them.
Okay.
Actually, hold on a second. First off, you got to respect the showmanship. But funny enough, I'm surprised that DSP didn't go to Darziak and be like, hey, let's do a 2-man show like this. I mean, theoretically, DSP did try to take that idea, because obviously after the breakup or whatever, DSP brought all those other people on for Smart Guys and so on and so forth. But I'm really surprised. I mean, but that was what it was. But I'm really surprised DSP didn't try to do a 2-man show like this. I mean, I guess you could say he actually did, and whatever, and was felted as a result. But now that I think about it, I'm really surprised he didn't just bring Darziak on for that. Darziak runs OBS, and then DSP does. Yeah, that wouldn't work. DSP don't do shit. So Darziak would literally have to carry that show, which is actually ironic, because look at Review Tech USA and Jay. That's the same type of, song and dance there too. Jay was the one who was handling all the technical stuff. He was the one that was fix all the problems in OBS, all the troubleshooting. He was the one who found all the reports. He was the one that was doing all the editing. He did. Jesus Christ, bro. Darziak was to DSP what Jay was to fucking Rich. Damn, that's crazy now that I think about it. That's absolutely fucking insane. I'm telling you, man, these locals from Bridgeport, must be something in the water, bruh. Must be something in the water.
Don't spoil it. That was a good idea. We might actually do that.
That shit better be a skit. I'm hoping that shit's a skit, bro. For real. Oh, big ups to Chio18, right? One that does our intros and a lot of other stuff here. But she has she's starting this thing up over there on her channel, where she's taking little snippets of DSP history and giving her own interpretation of it, if you will. It's a nice piece of work. It's a real nice piece of work. If I can, actually, I'll put it in as like one of my end cards and whatnot. You can check it out for yourself. And the link to her channel is always down in the description. So by all means, give her channel a look and whatnot. There's some interesting stuff that's brewing over there over the last few months. If YouTube notifications actually fucking worked, I would actually be able to see it on time. But, can't ask for everything, I suppose. But she's doing some good stuff over there. There's good work being had over there. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys took a look. All right. Big ups to Chio. Here we go.
It's called DSP Forehead. No, guys, I had this such a funny idea.
Didn't PvP just tell you to not talk about the idea, bruh? Come on, Andy, get it together.
And Ash is like, that's like fucking brilliant, bro. Let's do that.
If that shit's gonna turn into another movie, then by all means, please do. I'm hoping they'll do at least 2 this year. I'm hoping a Christmas, either another Christmas special or something for Halloween. Something for Halloween would be godlike. If they did something for Halloween, that'd be fucking hilarious. Oh, and something for Thanksgiving would be good too, actually. Now I think about it. Yeah, let me think on that. But like, because they already did a Christmas special. So like, yeah, if they did like a Halloween or a Thanksgiving special, that'd be funny though. We'll see. We'll see what the fall brings us, I suppose. Unless they do something for the summer.
It's called DSP Forehead. Let's go.
This is ridiculous. 3 subs all week. 3 subs. That's it? 3.
It's more than you
That's
deserve,
ludicrous.
honestly. Is it? Like, I don't know. If you told somebody that they would make $15 playing a video game, they would probably be really excited about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because normally the amount of money you make playing a video game is 0.
No, you actually make minus money. You pay to play a
know.
video game. Oh,
That
no.
sigh
hold on one
is
sec.
so good. Suffer, Phil, sigh, bitch, sigh. Cry, Phil, cry.
Let's hear that
Every
again.
moment of his suffering, every moment of his discomfort just brings me such joy and such glee inside. Like, it's just like a wonderful moment.
But it's not just him though. It's like the internet at large. And I think that's the reason why DSP needs the drama content. He needs something to make himself feel not so much important, but I mean being important does mean a lot to him. But to make himself feel like he's accomplished something, which is pathetic, by the way, because all them years you ain't bashed drama content, and now look, damn near at the end of your fucking rope, and not even the side of the rope that you should be on, Phil. But anyway, you're at the end of your damn fucking at the end of your goddamn rope, and now you want to dip into drama content because you have nothing else. The gaming shit's done, which is one of the reasons why DSP didn't want to go full-fledged into the drama content without Kino Casino carrying him in the first place. Because he always felt like he could run back to gaming. He always felt like, hey, the gaming thing is always here, and I'll use the drama stuff for the, you know, the slow times and whatever, and to basically build himself up. And you know, once he's where he needs to be from a gaming standpoint, from a gamer, air quotes, standpoint, I can drop the drama. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll go back to it if I need to. You know, because he always believes that door is open. He always believes that he has an option. The reality is he didn't. You know what I'm saying? There is no such thing as halfway crook. You're either in or you're out. Or you blend the two. And DSP can't do that because he can't do two things at once. He can't multitask. So I think that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing someone who's at the end of their motherfucking rope and thinking, okay, well, remember his little 3-prong plan or his 3 paths or whatever. Now he's just going to go ahead and try to dip into the other 2 paths and see what happens. The sad part, though, in reality, he'll never be looked at with any real legitimacy. So his end games, yeah, I'm going to say end games because I'm going to say he has 2 options. One is, and both of them are at the bottom of the goddamn barrel. But literally at the bottom of the damn barrel. They're not necessarily under it. One of them must be under it, actually. But one of them is definitely at the bottom of the damn barrel. It's either Review Tech USA or Locale Live. That's essentially what DSP's end games are going to be reduced to. And he'll be fortunate enough to have a choice. Because Rich ain't doing shit. And Rich would love to insert himself into some drama as with the least amount of blowback possible. And as I told you guys years ago, Keem is waiting. Keem can just play the waiting game because he has the privilege to do it. Look at what happened with Wings. You know what I'm saying? Look at what happened to Jaffe, David Jaffe and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or Jaffe. Look at what happened. Look at what happened to him. He eventually came back, or they worked something out. Like as much of a chronic alcoholic as Keemstar is, he does realize that time is pretty much on his side. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest lolcow out there, the rope in, at least for at that degree or to that level, is DSP. So that's just my thought. That's my theory. Those are his only 2 options: is either Rich or a lolcow. And I think DSP would do anything to, you know, prevent himself from doing that. He's already sold Cat's soul to fucking Kino Casino once. Who's to say that he wouldn't sell his own soul to go ahead and go back? I mean, PvP already had him up there prancing like a bitch anyway. Like some fucking snorty fucking burlette dancer. So who's to say anything about anything? And one can make the argument that the whole snakening was DSP trying to stay face. He spent all this time trying to build himself up, right? The aesthetics, his equipment, and peripherals. And whatever, and now he thinks he's there's less that can be made, there's less jokes that can be made at his personal expense, and now he thinks Kino Casino, if they take him back, they'll focus more on whatever their target is and not so much on him. Just keep that in mind. That's my own personal theory, but just keep that in mind.
It really is. It's like heartwarming. It's like seeing puppies, you know, or something like that. Jen Cook says, gonna pay more money to ask you to bring Phil back, have the lolcow felt Jer. He needs to well, that's what Phil wants.
Yeah.
Like, Phil is so desperate to be a part of the quartering arc, but he'll never be a part of the quartering.
I mean, he's not built for it though. There's already too many problems, right? Like, there's no way that DSP could step into, like, because like you said, DSP is not even in the kitchen. He's like not even in the living room. He's still like on the porch. You know what I'm saying? He's really outside. He's very much outside. He's on the porch waiting to be invited in and shit, like the Gouty vampire or whatever. Like, once DSP gets into the thick of it, like, there's already problems. Like, you got Cog running around here striking people like Mikey No More. He's going after some other people too. Some people say he's going after Bearing next and whatnot. Supposedly Geeks and Gamers are on somebody's hit list. That's just what I heard. Supposedly Friday Night Tykes is on someone's hit list. That's just what I heard. But supposedly they broke ties with what's her name, Christy Mayer. So theoretically they should be out of it, but they didn't mind collecting money on the drama while supposedly not wanting to do anything with the drama. That's a whole nother thing for another day though. So you have that situation, right? There's like a lot of moving parts going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things going on. And DSP is just not built for all that. And DSP is going to have to keep up with all that so he can keep up with the conversation. Because Kino Casino's on top of all that. As well as the Brittany Venti thing, the D-Day Cobra, and so, like, there's so many moving parts going on. It's not just hyper fixate on the quartering. You can, but there's a lot of other stuff going on too, especially with what's that guy's name? Camelot or Goonalot, and he ain't got caught lying on Christy Mayer, which only hurts any credibility that he had, which wasn't much, and it gives a little bit of validity to Mayer. So now Brittany she's not sweeping for Camelot, but now she has to contend with that bullshit and her ongoing struggle and her ongoing situation with Christy Mayer. It's just, you see what I'm saying? Like, when you have there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and if he can't keep up, he's going to fall behind. And they don't need dead weight like DSP dragging them down. This isn't Chained Together, that game that they played together. It's not that. And you remember how much dead weight DSP was in that playthrough. So keep that in mind.
He's acting like he knows everything.
Oh my god, it's insane. It really is insane, the shit that Phil is doing right now that you guys have no idea that he's doing. You know,
it actually shocks me.
It's actually shocking, the stuff that Phil's doing behind the scenes, guys. It really is.
I mean, and now that I think about it, remember how I said earlier that DSP is probably trying to play both sides between the quartering and Kino Casino? You could easily flip that coin the other way around and say he is doing that, but maybe he's trying to get information out of the quartering to set his ass up to ingratiate himself to Kino Casino. It could go both ways.
Actually insane.
I'm getting tired of this same guy coming in with all his accounts, and no one is helping me mod now.
No one's helping him mod. Yes! It's the great Janny revolt of 2026.
I'm tired, boss.
The Janet is a tired boss. They've put down their brooms. They're like, fuck
Did you
it.
see his speech? He's trying to recruit new mods. You know what he says? His pitch is, he goes, "Listen, guys, I want you to mod for me, okay? But I'm going to warn you, you will probably get doxxed."
What a sales pitch. You're going to be doxxed, fired from your job. Your life's going to be... Why are you telling people that?
Hey, he's just trying to give these dents some excitement. He's letting them know that, hey, it's an adventurous life on the SS Snort Britannian, if you will, and whatnot. And if you're going to be a shock trooper, you got to be ready for the dangers that comes to it. Hey, there are very capable men and women who go into special forces each and every year knowing that something could happen to them. Same people who become cops or become firemen and women or so on and so forth. If you're looking for some adventure in your dented, useless life, then, you know, this is what you have to deal with when you're ready to sign on. One could make the argument that he's being honest. I'm joking. Obviously, I don't mean none of that bullshit. And a dent's a dent. Fuck them. Fuck them. If they want to throw themselves into the fire like that, so be it. They shouldn't need DSP to tell them that. Look at all the dents who came before you and who thought that they were standing up for something, and look at how they all got exposed. That in itself should have been enough.
man. That's fucking crazy. Like,
he's like, they're gonna try to ruin your life.
Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to have a clean live chat.
Hey, someone's skeletons and bones needs to occupy the throne. That throne can't just sit there and be mud. something has to give.
Who will volunteer?
It's literally Gout of Thrones. Why do you guys think I say Gout of Thrones? What do you think makes up the throne? It's the bones of all the fucking dents who came before, who laid down their useless, worthless lives and whatnot to serve their king. What else? What other building material did they have?
Who will volunteer to do it?
Well, bottles of Tanqueray and then DSP's mucus and whatever else he spatted out that he has in those tissues or whatever. I mean, okay, so there are some other materials, but let's be honest. The skeleton of it all are the bones of the fallen dents who came before. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Free to hold the mighty wrench of power.
Bro, when he said that, I was laughing so hard.
The best part, by the way, is these guys will don't.
That's why when Darziak fucking lit that shit on fire and shit, that's why it went up as quickly as it was. I mean, damn thing was damn near made out of paper mache.
Donate like hundreds of thousands of dollars to Phil to get mod like Iron Chef Sakai, and they'll never get mod, but it'll.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Only Iced Coffee. Look at all the money that he paid, and then there was DM leaks. You guys remember this was years ago, where Phil was talking to someone saying, "Yeah, we're not gonna mod him. Like, I'm definitely not gonna mod Only Iced Coffee. He can keep giving me money though. I'm pretty sure he was talking about Only Iced Coffee, but he can keep giving me money, but I'm never gonna mod him. I'm never gonna mod him." You know what I'm saying? And maybe, just maybe, King Tut or Tutmosis, if they really were two separate people, maybe they were asking for mod ship too at one time or another. Maybe, but I definitely remember Only Iced Coffee wanting mod ship and was more than willing to pay for it, and he never got it, as far as I remember.
Be some like literal fucking slobber bucket retard that,
or if he was, it was for a very short period of time.
It never gives a dime that ends up getting mod, and he had like, it's so funny, dude. He'll always dangle that broomstick above their heads, and they jump for it. Oh, maybe I'll get it. Oh, maybe I'll get it. And Phil always knows to just pull it just out of reach. Ooh, just another $100, Iron Chef Sakai.
He literally did that on Twitch. Holy shit! Yeah, he's right. That's fucking crazy when you think about this shit in hindsight.
Oh, you almost got it that time, bud. He's such a master of this shit, honestly. He's such a master of scamming these fucking retards, and they deserve to get...
He's a dent savant, if you will.
Get fucking scammed.
Or dented savant.
ABC, I like pie for 5,000 kicks. Saying Lego Batman Chads rise up. Bill wouldn't even play Dark Knight difficulty, because he's scared of the Lego game pushing his shit in.
He's scared of the hard mode on Lego?
I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm not surprised at that at all.
Sire.
And that just makes the gamer journalist memes that comes later even funnier. So that works out.
It's fucking Lego. And World Changer Reel for 5 subs. And Katarina for a sub. Jerry uses diarrhea as lube for a sub. That's
my God.
I continue to ignore Kick Chat today because Kick Chat again.
But you're not. You're seething at Kick Chat, Phil. You're seething at
this
Kick
guy
Chat.
is the biggest fucking mongoloid retard ever.
Facts.
I know we always say that, but like, dude, Phil, you burned your audience, you burned the haters, you burned everyone, and now it's felted. You're done. You're done, buddy.
Again, being completely uncivilized, acting like animals, spamming complete nonsense.
Are you surprised? Is he surprised? Are you surprised, Phil?
It's like all they're doing is spamming emotes, though.
They're
Phil,
having
you
fun.
big fucking baby. They're actually having fun. Like, listen, you don't entertain them, so they have to entertain themselves.
You're bored.
Yeah, that's why that crazy sex roleplay thing was going on in his YouTube chat for as long as it was, wherever that shit ended up going.
Similar to like,
which was very similar to the shit that was going on at Twitch back in the day too. So there you go.
10 years ago in WWE, you would see them like send a beach ball around in the crowd to entertain themselves because it was so fucking boring and so bad. Like, that's the thing here. Like, this is garbage. And so the audience has to entertain themselves, Phil. Maybe if you actually were capable of engaging the audience and entertaining them, this wouldn't be happening. But you fucking suck, Phil.
It's not just the fact that he fucking sucks, but he doesn't want to engage with those people. He doesn't respect them. And even if he could, I mean, how would he? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't read anything. He doesn't watch anything. You know, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. The only thing he cares about is what people think about him online. So really, it just comes down to what people say and do that pertains to him online. That's all he cares about. Because that's all his life has ever been, is online. You know what I'm saying? The real world scares him. I said this years ago, but the real world scares him. It scares him immensely. You know what I mean? And that's why he called people mouth-drooling losers, and I have a wife, and it's all smoke and mirrors. It's a shield. It's window dressing. It's a beard. The reality is he lives chronically online, and he can't give it up because he can't. He's an addict. He's an addict. He has a spending addiction. He has a gambling addiction. He has a gotcha addiction. He has a drinking problem, and he's chronically he's chronically online. He can't give it up. What is out here in the real world for him anyway? Honestly, ask yourself that. What does DSP really have in IRL? According to the Darziak leaks, he hasn't talked to any of his family in over a decade. It's probably been longer than that, to be honest. Because the last real contact that he's had with anybody outside of his mom and dad was his uncle, who his mother asked on his behalf to borrow money and whatnot. And so DSP didn't even talk to him. He went through his mother to do that. You know what I'm saying? So DSP don't talk to his family. They're useless. If they're not giving him money or they're not sending him gifts on his birthday or Christmas, what good are they? It's utilitarianism. If you do not serve a purpose, you're just in the way.
So this is your fate.
Yeah, and he's oh.
Sends in the chat. So
And by the way, can I say one more thing about Phil trying to get in the quartering arc from behind the scenes? Phil, you called yourself the King Snake. You leaked DMs. You said you're better than us. That we're drama mongers. Yeah. We had no talent.
Misery merchants and shit. Big ups to misery merchant and stuff like that, or misery brokers.
You weren't different. And then you're fucking on your hands and knees, crawling back, begging us to bring you part. And
I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm not surprised at that at all. And that might explain why DSP has been, quote unquote, so depressed during his whole reaction to the whole June the King thing. That's probably why he stretched it out as long as he did. He was probably hoping, hey guys, let's do another June the King react. I'll go ahead and start mine, you know, on such and such date, unless you guys ask to bring me on, and then we can do it together, just like what we did with Rich. I guarantee you that's what he wanted. And that's why he stretched it out as long as he did. Because when they didn't notify him or reach out to him for part 1, he thought maybe for part 2, there's theoretically shouldn't have even been a part 3. He should have finished it off by then. But he extended it till part 4 just in case. Just in case. And they just didn't. And he's been miserable ever since. I knew he had something riding on this a little bit more. I didn't necessarily suspect that. But I'm not surprised if that was the case.
Acting like you know
and even with all of this that they're revealing, did either one of them drop their DMs showing what DSP said around this period of time? They still gave him grace. They still gave him grace.
Behind scenes of YouTube and how to save us.
He doesn't know fucking anything.
Fuck off, you retard.
Like, I just don't know. Like, he actually thinks he's this master manipulator.
It's not even just that, but think about some of the big names who have reached out to Kino Casino and been like, yo, we'll see if we can help you with YouTube. And nothing has flourished from that yet. I'm not saying that they didn't get anything done, but nothing's really materialized just yet, outside of the fact that they can make new channels, which means that their AdSense accounts are at least still good. So if you got really big names who really can't help you, or at least haven't shown that they've been able to do so yet, what the fuck is a DSP gonna do? What the fuck is Phil Paul Burnell, DSP, Darkside Phil, Dark Geppetto gonna really do? He can't even save himself. How's he gonna save 2 other people who have gone from when DSP was over there with them, they were pulling anywhere between 5,000 and 7,000 people a night. They're now in the like 15, 17,000, 20,000 range. And DSP sees that and he wants a piece, but he's got nothing to bring to the table. Unless they're lies, of course.
Folks, like he really thinks that he's manipulating us and he's pulling all the strings and we're all fucking stupid and we're going to fall for his lies. Like he's so fucked in the head. Like he actually is.
But see, what have I tried to tell you? The way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. He did it before. He got away with it before. So he's thinking, oh, I can get away with it again. Especially with the stakes as high as it is. He thinks, you know, and especially as I said earlier, with the numbers being so much higher, he's thinking, hey, instead of me making 50 grand in 8 months like the first time, I could probably pull 100,000, you know, or more this time around if I could just get them to let me in. If he could just get them to let me through the doors, I can make some real money this time. Not to say that he didn't make real money the last time. Just keep that in mind.
He pisses on us. He pisses on the audience. All this stuff, our audience.
I mean, DSP pisses on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, there's a lot of people who say, well, DSP just doesn't know any better. You know, he doesn't really mean to do it. He just doesn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? He's not able to read a room. He's not able to read a room. That's actually true. But his intentions are actually very straightforward. You can see that with the Darziak shit. He picked and chose what to respond to. He knew what he was doing. Especially, there shouldn't be too many people that are saying anything against us now. But just look at how when Darziak wanted to break away. When Darziak's like, yo, I'm done, man. I can't do this anymore. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. And what did DSP do? Oh, well, I'll just go ahead and change your workload. Oh, I'll go ahead and we'll just take that away from you. Oh, we'll just go ahead and kill that off. But I need you to still do the day-to-day shit. Because if you don't do it, then they're going to know something's wrong, and then they're going to immediately target you. The detractors are going to eventually figure you out, which is weird because I thought we were all nudniks and we're all fucking brain dead stupid and we're all, you know, mongoloids and all that bullshit. All that, you know what I mean? And whatnot. But yet we would be able to figure all that out, meaning that we already knew, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally fear-mongered him to keep him in pocket, which is the same thing I said on my streams, last one I did. Well, I guess depending on when you see this, that DSP probably did the exact same shit to fucking Cat. And that's how he was able to convince her to drop all her social media. Who knows what quote-unquote threats he may have thrown at Panda to keep her quiet. That's something we don't really talk about. I think I've briefly spoken on it. But we don't really talk about so much, what did DSP do to keep Panda quiet all these years? Could it have been love still, or could it have been pity, or could it have been a combination of both? Certainly. But what did he pay her off with? Or what did he threaten her with? I don't mean physical threats, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that. I mean, hey, you know, the last thing you want is, you know, one of these dents figuring out where you're at, or figuring out this, or figuring out that, or what other social media accounts you may have that you might be messing around on, or whatever. Who knows what he has over that chick's head? If he didn't mind throwing her under the bus over the panic attack, who knows what other shit he had on her that he might have been willing to leak. He don't care about that bitch. So what's to stop him? Just something to think about. I may delve into that more later.
And then goes, don't worry, guys. I got a plan to make more money. What?
No, you don't.
Whoa,
there is no
what
money
are you talking
with
about?
you, Phil.
Yeah, we lose.
This guy struggles to make $100 in a day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's levels to this shit, Philip.
Yeah, but he just, DSP wants the Paypigs back. Not his Paypigs, because they were always Kino Casinos, but he wants the Paypigs back. Because Kick Chat's been kicking his ass, and he really wants it to stop. But keep in mind, and I've said this before, Kick only exists because of Kino Casino. DSP only paid attention. Well, I mean, people had mentioned to him that the site exists and whatever, but the only thing that actually made him make an account was Kino Casino. That was the only thing that caused him to make that jump. All the money and everything that he made on Kick was because of Kino Casino. The partnership deal was because of Kino Casino. He owes that whole platform to them, and he knows it, and he hates it, but he needs it. And that's why he has to go back to Twitch eventually. Eventually, he has to go back to Twitch. because it's only because of the grace of the casino that he's even allowed to exist on Kick. And it's a slow death. It's a slow death. And he knows it. And he knows it.
You're on like level 0.
1.
You're not even on level 1. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, exactly. I robbed the casino. I got Asmon, my BFF, who's gonna fucking save me. Fuck you, casino. I don't need you. Okay, then bye. Oh,
it's funny too that how their attitude has changed. It's been at least a couple of days since it's come out, and I'm not saying that it's not warranted, but think about how it was all jokes and it was all jubilant and everything a few days ago, or a day or two previous, I should say, and now it's outright disdain. You know what I'm saying? It makes you wonder. Did DSP continue messaging them over the last couple? They don't have them blocked, obviously. So it makes you wonder what was being said or being done over the last few days that caused this this sudden shift. If you want to call it sudden, of course.
wait, you're back.
See you,
Okay,
Phil.
yeah.
I just ignore them. There's no point in me paying any attention to them at
But you
all.
are paying attention to them.
If anyone actually wants to act normal, you know, you're welcome to. But so far, no dice over there. I mean, look
And the
at
magic emote just keeps flooding
So
in.
that's why I'm not really engaging with the Kick audience today. They're just
That's good
morons.
shit.
So
But
what
you
can
are
I say?
engaging with them. He's crashing out.
Why don't they donate though? I don't know. I wonder why not.
Feesbot, thanks for 1 kick. Okay.
Feesbot flicked 1 penny at Phil, which is 1 penny more than he deserves, really.
Oh, I can't. Never mind. I'll say
Just
that.
send the moral support.
Oh yeah, he makes
Shuffle,
$100
Phil.
an hour. He makes $100 an hour sitting here making clone
I
accounts
bet
in
you
the chat.
he does.
Right.
He's a Chad King, bro. He's
Anyway,
an all-time
Feesbot is a
multi-millionaire.
legend.
His investments make him a fortune as he sits on his ass trolling you all day. I think he's talking about the guy in chat that was saying no wheel, no deal. I don't know. But like, Phil, you can't say you're not paying attention to them. Like, you're paying attention to them by bringing it up. Like, he just,
Yeah,
he'll never get it.
exactly.
He'll never get it.
Exactly.
By the way, we got Woke Millennial for 5 subs, and Kino Jam says, I'm not even sure how this guy has stayed relevant as long as he did. I only knew him for jerking his noodle, and that was when I was in high school.
That's hilarious. But this right here is a good listen. I'm sure we've all kind of already come to this conclusion, but it's a good listen. Here we go.
It's because he's so detestable and so hateable that people just have like this passion, this burning desire to destroy him and stomp him out and make him suffer every single day.
Or to see him fall. There's that too. You know what I'm saying? It's the difference between your point and laugh, right? Or those who want to actively get involved to accelerate the situation.
But the problem is that then creates like splinter factions
Which is true.
that then want to see those people get upset because they're emotionally invested in seeing Phil lose. So then they'll donate to Phil in order to keep the whole charade going.
Mhm.
And then mixed in there's like maybe a half dozen like mentally ill wheelchair mongoloids and people putting themselves into massive amounts of debt who unironically like Phil. But that's his life. Like, it's all just a silly game.
It's human chess. Just like I told y'all, it's human chess. DSP is a pawn in his own story, but he doesn't care because it's his story. But he believes he can be a king. He believes he believes he is the king, but he's just another piece on the board. He's just another piece on the board. He don't move unless one side or the other pushes him to move. Hopefully that analogy makes sense.
You know, it's a silly game for a bunch of other people that are like puppeteering things above Phil's head. But he thinks that like if he scratches his ass in a certain way, he'll get more bananas from the zookeeper or whatever. But it's always predetermined. It was always predestined. Like nothing he does actually matters. The schedule doesn't matter. The game choice doesn't matter. Nothing fucking matters. It's the same song and dance every fucking day. Forever.
And ironically enough, because of that, a few years ago, when the GDC situation came out, right? about how they were using DSP as an example in God and War. And I had said, hey, I'm sure other people said it too, but I had said, like, hey, this guy, people are going to look back and say how much damage he did to the gaming community. Well, years before any of us said it, Medicare had said it. But even then, people were like, you're exaggerating. It's not that serious. It's that and the third. Now you look at how games are structured. Yellow paint is there, even more so than usual. Like, you know what I'm saying? The game industry, for the most part, looks like they need to handhold us through everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't allow you to try to figure out shit no more. And DSP could very well be one of the direct causes of that. There's a direct correlation between when, like, maybe even before the GDC situation happened, and how games have been dumbed down leading up to where we're at now. It's incredible when you think about it. And I get it. A lot of people don't want to give DSP that much credit. Sure, I don't want to either. You know me, I'm petty as fuck. I don't want to give DSP any credit. Unless it's a direct detriment. Unless it's a direct cause of his own detriment. And vice versa. Which causes him to suffer either which way. Then I'm happy with it. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is, he has an effect. And he's had one in a very poor way. Hell, one can make the argument that the FGC is different for the worst, to be honest with you. More pedophiles are being discovered left and right. But anyway, DSP, in a lot of ways, as it pertains to the FGC, was negative. Very. And even though his name isn't remembered, some of his methods and shit are still on the table, especially within the Smash community. Which is weird, because he detests, Smash. He never took that shit, he never played that shit competitively or anything like that. But boy, there's a lot of his behavior that's exhibited amongst the Smash and Brawl community. It's really kind of wild when you think about it. Take a closer look, if you guys have any time. Take a look at the franchise and technicals coverage of Leffen, and tell me that you don't see a lot of their behavior that correlates with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only difference is Leffen was more successful. He was far more successful. That was it. Outside of that, they're damn near cut from the same fucking cloth. They're pathetic. They're pitiful. They're resentful in all the same ways. And for almost all the same reasons, especially against people who they are intimidated by, as it pertains to gaming. People especially that they can't beat. You know what I mean? And then they were both willing to jump to other communities, just like what DSP's trying to do now with this Pokemon thing, to try to get some acceptance, to try to distance themselves from the nest that they already shitted up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of correlations there. There's a lot of interesting identifiers that they both share, if nothing else. In any case, thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it and whatnot. And I'll catch you guys for the next one of these. And like I said, beat your loyal cows, beat them often. They're not people. And as it pertains to DSP and what goes on with this, there's no need. There's no need to split the profits. If DSP wants to make himself known, really, he's going to have to do it himself. And this time, at least for the time being, until Darziak ends up crawling back, DSP is legitimately on his own. Now, keep in mind, and I mean this when I say this, there's always going to be another Dent. There'll always be someone else that's going to pick up the pace. If hell, while DSP was talking to Darziak and working with him, because that's literally what he was damn near an unpaid employee for 11 years. I'm sure there's a few other Dents around that was doing shit too. One of those guys will either actually pick up the weight, or DSP will distribute it amongst the other Dents, and they'll figure something out. Darziak already laid down the blueprint. All he gotta do is follow it. So it's really not that hard, to be honest with you, because Darziak already did all the work. He got over a decade of slavery and whatnot. So his work isn't going to go completely to waste, but whatever. Make of that what you will. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this has been, I'll name this segment later, GTG, Spitz That Grease, so on and so forth. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your day. And I'll talk to y'all later. Later.